Okay, welcome to lesson 1B.7, and this is part 2. So we're working on completing the square. One of the really nice things about completing the square is that you can turn an equation that is in standard form into an equation that's in vertex form. So why would you want to do that? Because you can see the vertex very easily. This form allows you to be able to graph much easier than it is if it's in standard form. All right, so let's try doing that. So we're going to write the quadratic function y is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 11 in vertex form. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to be able to convert this into a nice, perfect trinomial. All right, so we're going to start by again writing b over 2, and b over 2 squared. All right, so b is negative 8. If I divide negative 8 by 2, I get negative 4. If I square negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. So what I need in this location is a 16, and I don't have one. Now the thing about this is we're not trying to solve the equation. So notice there's no 0 on this side of the equation. We still have a y over there. Okay, so this is a little bit different. And I'm going to write this like this: x squared minus 8x plus 11 equals y. All right, I want a 16 there, but I have an 11. So I am still going to move that 11 to the other side. So let's get rid of it and move it to the other side. Minus 11, minus 11. So on this side, I have x squared minus 8x, and there's a space now there. And over here, I have y minus 11. Okay, I'm going to stick that 16 in there so I have a perfect trinomial. Plus 16, and I'm going to put the 16 over here because I'm balancing my equation. Just what we did before. The only difference is this odd looking y on this side of the equation because it's a parabola. It's not an equation that we're looking to solve. All right, so we're going to replace the perfect trinomial with this, the binomial. X plus b over 2. But what's b over 2? It's minus 4 squared. And on this side, we have y. And let's see, a negative 11 plus 16 is a positive 5. Okay, we're almost done. We need to move that 5 to the other side. So we're going to do minus 5, minus 5. All right, let's give ourselves a little bit more room. And now we have parentheses. X minus 4 squared minus 5 is equal to y. And look at how nice that is. That's now in vertex form. So what's the vertex of our parabola? It's the opposite of what's inside the parentheses, so it's 4, 5. And that's the vertex of the parabola. Okay, you're going to do the exact same thing with the next couple of practice problems. So let's take a look at a few of them, and I'll choose one more to do because we've got time on the video. All right, so let's keep going. Anything else look interesting down here? A little more difficult? I don't know. Let's try 80. So let's try doing number 80 because we've got some negative signs there. Okay. Okay, so let's do number 80. First thing I'm going to do is rewrite it like this. Negative x squared minus 14x minus 47 is equal to y. Okay, so what you should notice right off the bat is that the leading coefficient is not 1. It's a negative 1. So let's get rid of that negative 1. So we're going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and divide by negative 1, and divide by negative 1. All right, so this becomes an x squared. This becomes a positive 14x. This becomes a positive 47. And this becomes a negative y. And that looks a little awkward having negative y on that side, but that's okay. It's not going to stay that way for long. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and solve it just like we solved the others. We want to make sure that this trinomial is perfect. So let's find out what's going to make it perfect. So we have b is equal to 14, and b over 2, over 2 is equal to 7, and b over 2 squared is equal to 49. Okay, so let's see if I can change the color here. So what I need in this location here is a 49, and I don't have one. So let's get rid of that 47 and put a 49 there. So I'm going to subtract 47 from here and subtract 47 from here. And it looks a little odd. I have x squared plus 14x. Now there's a space equals negative y minus 47. All right, I need to put something in there. So what am I putting in there? To make it perfect, I'm going to put a plus 49. Let's change the color. I don't know why it doesn't change color easily, but it doesn't. So let's change this and see if I can get it to change it to red. Plus, yep, 49 plus 49. Okay, so now this is a perfect trinomial. So I can replace it with x plus b over 2. So what's b over 2? 7 squared. And on this side, I have minus y, and I have a minus 47 and a plus 49, which makes it plus 2. Almost done. Almost in vertex form. I need to move that 2 to the other side. So let's subtract 2, then subtract 2. So now we have x plus 7 squared minus 2 equals negative y. So it almost looks like in vertex form, but the only problem is I still have that negative in front of the y. All right, so I want to bring the negative sign over to the other side. So what I'm going to do is just multiply all the way through by negative 1. So if I multiply negative 1, and I multiply this by negative 1, and I multiply this by negative 1. So now I've multiplied everything on both sides by negative 1. This becomes a negative x plus 7 squared. This becomes a positive 2. And this becomes a positive y. And now I have my equation in vertex form. It just made it a little neater to keep all those negative signs on one side. Okay. So what's our vertex? Our vertex is the opposite of whatever's inside the parentheses. So in this case, it is a negative 7, 2. And from looking at that, we know that the thing U's down, and we know what the vertex is. So it's a lot easier to graph something in that form. Okay, so you're going to practice doing the other problems. The only one there that might be a little bit challenging is this last one right here, because you have a leading coefficient of 3. But you saw what you did when you had a leading coefficient of negative 1. You're going to do the same thing with the leading coefficient of 3. Just move it to the other side. All right, so remember, come with questions on Thursday. Be ready to ask questions, and I'll give you the answers, and we can go over them in class. All right, have a good day.